Hello there guys and welcome back to another video. I am feeling very sore today. I'm feeling sorry for myself. Me and my missus decided to have a couple of drinks on a school night. Or when I say a couple, I mean quite a few. I'm feeling very gentle. In typical fashion, when you feel like that is when you've got to do the most work. So we've got lots of warranty work that we need to do. So a couple of bits have come in from people that have purchased cars, not anything major. And we've got quite a lot of cars that we need to get through prep wise. So I've already mentioned cars are flying out, and it's been exactly the same already. So we've sold the Fiat 500, which is only just coming to stock. Sorry, we've sold the Seat IB for now. We've also sold the Citroen C1, which we needed to get rid of, so that's great. And there is another car which I'm just trying to find, a Ford Fiesta, which we've sold. So we've got quite a bit that we need to get through. The Vauxhall Insignia sold as well. So we knew that one wouldn't be here long. So the black Insignia, which I've showed you guys a video of, that went out the day after it was advertised. So we put it on Facebook, and within 24 hours, we had 2 inquiries on it. It was a case of first come, first serve. And yeah, bought the car, took it away straight away. Same with the Fiat 500. So this happened on Sunday. Now, we're not open on Sunday theoretically, but I went into town to go and buy a new phone. And on my way back, I was feeling sorry for myself because I've just spent some money. And a customer rang me saying, "We're looking around your Fiat 500 now. Is there any chance you can come in?" Yes, there is. So went into work, met them there. Within 30 minutes, we'd done a deal, and they're picking up next Saturday. So we're really happy. But this does mean, again, we need to buy some stock. So we've completely, well, not completely, but we're running out again of all the nice, bits and bobs that we get. So auction today at 3 o'clock. Hopefully get 5 or 6 more motors, get them prepped, get them on the pitch. There are a couple of bits here that we need to do to get cars advertised. So we've got a Ford Fiesta, which I showed you on the last video, and needs a really good valet. And then we've got a Nissan Duke, which is exactly the same thing. We had a bit of a nightmare with a Mini that we went to come pick up from auction. So went to Mannheim, Leeds, went to pick up a Mini. It wasn't possible to drive it home. We got about 100 yards down the road, could smell a really strong burning smell, like burning rubber. And what's happened is the coil spring has snapped and the spring is rubbing against the tyre. So I had to leave that there and pay for delivery, which is a shame because I reckon that car would have sold. But then again, it weren't in a position to be sold. So I think that's actually worked out all right. And it just alleviates a bit of pressure in terms of things that we need to do prep-wise. So yeah, there's lots to get through today. I've brought a little chest strap so you can get a bit more of a bird's eye view of what we're doing. So I'll show you a couple of bits of repair work that we're doing. And yeah, so I'll set the camera up and you'll just follow me through the day. So today is Monday. And as I said, these videos will be released on Friday. There'll be a Monday to Friday of how the week's gone, sales, warranty issues, and all that sort of stuff. And there'll be a separate video for the car that we've purchased for the channel to do sort of like a build series on. So I'm going to set the camera up, get my arse in gear because I'm feeling terrible. Stop feeling sorry for myself. And yeah, we'll get cracking with the day. Catch up with you soon. Let's get cracking. We just need to open up. Which bloody key is it? That's what happens when you have too much to drink, guys. Right, which one is it? Here we go. Look at the mess in here, by the way. Really need to get that sorted out, but when you're doing lots of repair work, it's quite hard to keep on top of it. Right. Car in question for today is this Seat Ibiza, which I think I've shown you guys already. So this car is now sold, and there's lots of work that we need to do. So, well, not lots of work, but we need to change the front tyres, because they're worn and the customer wants it doing, which is fine. So we'll get that done. And then there is a issue with the door locks, and I've got a feeling that this is going to be a bit above my paycheck, if I'm honest. So I've got a feeling I might need a auto electrician, but we'll see. We will see how it goes. The doors basically don't lock on the key or with the central locking button on the inside of the car, which I'll show you. 2 seconds. So lock doesn't do anything. I don't know if you can hear that. Unlock does. Lock does nothing. I've got a feeling it's the door actuator, and if it is, they're quite a big job to do, and I'm having an absolute nightmare finding them for sale. Oh, help if I put my handbrake off. But I'm just going to check if it's any fuses, or I'm just going to check the wiring harness in the door just to see if there's any rips or splits in the wiring, which I've read is quite common for these as well. Am I going to get in here? That is the question. I've done a terrible job of that. Right, we'll try again. Oh. Have I just hit something? What the bloody hell is it? That's Frank, that. That's Frank's fault. Wait till I see him now. Right, move that crap out of the way. Take 3. We should be alright now. Yeah. Yeah, the issue with this car, I've just got a feeling this is going to be a bit above what I can do, if I'm honest. So, but we'll have a go. We always have a go. Right. That's okay. If anybody knows anything about these Seat Ibizas, so it's a 2014. Let's do that bonnet latch. If anybody knows anything about them and I can't fix this, if you can put a comment and try and help me out, that would be fantastic. Right, okay. So, I think, but first things first is let's check the fuses, and yeah, we'll have a look and see if any have popped. Now, where the hell is the fuse box here? Am I being severely stupid? Right, 2 seconds. Let me go on old Google and see where the fuse box is, and then we'll have a look. Right, so I've decided to go straight for a code scan. So this is a top-down. It's their RT Diag Pro. Really good. We've always been happy with it ourselves. And yeah, we're just going to see. Oh, behave. Right then, guys. So I've decided to just go for a scan to see what is going on with this car. Now, where is... Let's go for VW. No fault code. Okay. So... Is there going to be anything for central locking? Come on, you stupid thing. Yes. Right. Is it because it's needing an update? Say it. There we go. So let's update that. It's never simple, guys. It's supposed to be just a nice, easy scan, but we've got a full system update now. So Just give us 2 seconds, we'll get this done, and then we'll show you any fault codes that are on the car. Hopefully there is. If there's not, then it's a case of stripping this door card down, which I have read is a hell of a job. So bear with us, and I'll come back on in a sec. Another update, no! we will get there, we will. Just doing a firmware update, and then eventually we will scan it, we'll see if anything comes up. I've got a feeling it's going to be that actuator on the door, which I'm dreading. And just getting the part is hard. So I've already rang up a couple of part suppliers to see if it's something that they do, and they don't. It's main dealer only. Or I could order one off Amazon or eBay, but then you never know the quality of it. So, oh, are we cooking on gas? Let's have a look. Are we doing anything? Well, hey. Hopefully this comes up with something and just lets us diagnose it a bit early, a bit easier. I've got a feeling it's not going to, though. Does anybody get dead on edge about scanning your car? I always get worried about what's going to come up. It's not very often that you see that. So there is not a single fault code stored in this car. So that is not going to help us with that at all. Let's have a look. No, nothing on there. Right, so defo don't. It's got to be the actuator. It's got to be. I'm just going to check the wiring. So give me 2 seconds. Let me have a look at that, and then we'll get started stripping down this door. Right, we are having a bit of a situation here. So we've tested the fuses. Fuses are fine. We've scanned the car. No fault codes. So we need to take the door card off, which we're just halfway through now, which is a bit of a nightmare doing it. So took a few bits off. So took the little trims off there. We've just got to take these 2 spline bolts out here, and then from what I've looked at on YouTube, the door card lifts up. And then in typical fashion, I didn't have the tools, so that were an excuse to go and spend some more money. So let's have a look. Oh, nice and shiny, look. £41 they were. I nearly fell on the floor. But I love buying tools. Don't know why, but I just do. Does that fit? Does that fit? Yes. Yes, it does. Oh. Get me trusty ratchet. Okay. Right, that's that one. Oh. And that's that one. Oh, like a pro. So this, when we bought this car, we wasn't aware of this issue. And if I'm honest, if I'd have known it had a central locking issue, I probably wouldn't have bought it, if I'm honest. Because it's becoming a bit of a nightmare, this job. But hey ho. So, from what I've read, the door should just lift up. So that's that side. Okay. Oh, we're getting somewhere here. We are getting somewhere. Or are we? Or was that just a bit of false hope? Oops. Have I just broken something? Is there a bolt still attached? Just look behind there. Not from what I can see. What's keeping this door on? Oh shit. What I obviously don't want to do is break the door. So let me watch a bit more a bit more YouTube and then I'll come back on. Laters. Door card off. So from what I've read, the actuator on the driver's door and these setups are prone for failing. And if they do fail, it can mean that when you press the lock button, the signal isn't strong enough to go to the rest of the locks. So I believe it's this that's at fault. So I'm just going to start stripping it down and see if I can see anything obvious. And then, yeah, I'll come back on the video. So speak soon. So guys, it's now Tuesday. Yesterday was a pretty stressful day. Very stressful, actually. So we've got quite a lot of work that's going on. We've got a set AB, which I showed you some clips of yesterday. It basically needs a new driver's door actuator. None of the locks are working. And we believe that the driver's door actuator isn't sending the signal to the rest of the doors. So we've had to strip all that down. Now that is a hell of a job. I didn't think it was going to take as long as what it did and be as complicated as what it was. And not only that, the part for it is like impossible to get. So rang up Seat, they wanted £180, which is just ridiculous. We're not going to pay that. And then they wanted another £50 for their latch. So obviously we're looking for another alternative. So we've rang up companies like SDL Manafirm, PCS Motor Factors. They don't stock this sort of stuff at all. We rang breakers yards, which we don't usually do, but we did. Rang breakers yards, none available. Eventually found one on a company called Autodoc. Now they have got one, but it's going to take 5 days for it to get here. So I was getting a bit stressed out yesterday. I was a bit hungover. Had a few too many of them last night. Night before. And I thought, I'm going home. And that's what I did. So I went home and I felt sorry for myself the rest of the day and I didn't get anything done. So coming today, again, feeling pretty stressed out. So if I tell you guys what's happening at the minute, we was on a podcast with Shifting Metal, explaining where the business is at and any advice and things like that. Now, when we first got onto this site, I was selling probably 8 cars a month on my driveway on average, which is good numbers, but it was manageable by myself. What's happened is we've got onto this site and I thought that it's going to take a while for this to take off because the other previous owner had it for 48 years, X, Y, and Z. And also finances from my side. You know, I'm not a millionaire, so I thought it's going to take a while to get this built up. And then what's happened is this month, so far we've sold 15 cars in 17 days, which for one person is a lot of work. And bear in mind, guys, I wash them, photo them, advertise them. I also fix most of them myself, and I deal with the warranty work myself as well. And I just cannot physically do it. And I've come to that acceptance with myself that I need to contract this work out. So this morning I've had a bit of a reality check with that. And what I've done is I've taken some cars down to a garage down the road and I'm hopefully going to grow a relationship with this business and they're going to do the prep work for me. I'll still do some bits myself because I think it makes some good content and I also enjoy working on cars, but I cannot physically prep 15 cars in 17 days plus deal with selling the cars and all that. It's just not possible doing it. Now that moves back onto what we was talking about with employing somebody, which is what we were speaking about on this podcast. James made a comment saying you've sold 18 cars in the past 30 days. What are you doing? You know, the money is obviously there. Now, the money is there, not in massive amounts, but it is there. I am earning a steady income in this business. So I know I can employ someone comfortably. It's just such a scary thing to do it and commit to it and go, right, I'm going to employ you and I'm going to pay you every single month and I'll guarantee you that'll be the case. But I'm coming to that road. I'm coming to the end of that road with myself, and I know this is the next move for the business. So that's something that I'm going to have a think about today and sort of process and how I'm going to structure it, how it's going to work, whether I need to bring someone on part-time or full-time, or whether I want a young person with no experience or an older person with some experience or a middle-aged person with some experience. So that is where we're at. So today, to break it down, what I would have had to do by myself and what has caused all this stress, which is self-inflicted really. So I've got the Seat Ibiza, which has got a door actuator which needs to be done. So I've had to strip all that door card down. That took me about 2 hours to get all that done. Windows had to come out, all that sort of stuff. It then needs 2 front tyres, and there's no lock and wheel nut in the car. So we're having to smash these lock and wheel nuts off, which again, it's not exactly a hard thing to do, but it's a time-consuming thing to do. So I need to do that. I've got a Vauxhall Insignia that we've sold, which I believe needs new rear bottom arms. So when you're going over bumps, there's a knocking noise from the rear. So that needed sorting. I've got a Nissan Qashqai, which has got a wiper motor, which is on its way out. I've got a Ford Fiesta, which has got a clutch master cylinder, which needs changing, and a drop link. I've also sold a Fiat 500, which has failed its MOT because it needs no exhaust. What else? I've got 2 cars here that need to be advertised and also prepped. And I've still not got round to that today. So what I'm doing with that is I am giving that work to a car wash today, which is not something I usually do, and I don't advocate it, and I don't like car washers, but I've got no choice today. So I'm going to give that work to them, pay them a bit of money to get it sorted out, get them advertised, get them on the web. I've then had to buy 7 more cars yesterday, which I need to organise collection, prepping, advertising. And I think what's happened is, because I am a one-man band, I've bottlenecked. So I've sold, like I say, 15 cars in 17 days, which is great, fantastic. That's what I'm here for, is to sell cars. But because I ain't got the manpower behind me, the demand is quite physically hard to keep up with. And I think in order for this business to grow where I want it to grow, I need to stop being scared and just employ somebody, maybe on a part-time basis to start with. I was thinking about a family member. I've already spoke about this in a previous video, but not 100% sure on that. So if anyone's got a comment on that sort of stuff, please let us know. But today is going to be a very busy day. So we've already dropped the Insignia off at the garage. So I've met the guys down there, introduced myself. They've given me a promise that they'll look after the cars. You know, they'll look after us from a financial point of view as well, you know, in terms of cost, because we're going to be giving them quite a lot of work. And after that, we'll swap it with a Ford Fiesta for the clutch master cylinder. And in the meantime, I'm going to get these 2 cars valeted, which is a Ford Fiesta and a Nissan Duke, get them valeted and get them on the web. So there's a plan of action today. I come in very stressed, but now I'll give this work out. I feel I can just breathe a bit. I am trying to get round to this video on the car that I bought for the channel, but because we're so snowed in, we've sold so many cars, it's unreal, and I need to prioritize my customers. So we will get round to this video, but right now I need to prioritize stuff in the right order. So that's what we're doing today. Going to be another busy day. I've got an inquiry on the Nissan Duke as well, so that's another reason why I want to get it valeted. And yeah, I'll keep you updated. Hopefully get some clips of cars and when they're valeted and all the rest of it, the usual stuff. And yeah, I'll catch you in a bit. So guys, we're now on Thursday. Apologies that we didn't manage to get anything videoed yesterday. We've just been so busy trying to sort things out, so my apologies. Again, today, fresh day, weather's absolutely beautiful. We're going to collect some cars from Mannheim in Leeds today. We've literally just sold a car this morning as well, just to add to the list of jobs to do. So that makes it now 17 sales so far this month, and we're on the 20th. So we're absolutely chuffed with that. We just need to get through this prep work and we need to get these cars out. There's got a lot of handovers which are pending and all the rest of it. But today, yeah, so we're going to travel to Leeds. We're going to collect two cars, which is the orange Mini, which I'll show you when it's here, and then we've got a black BMW 1 Series, which I think is going to be some fantastic stock. Just spice it up a little bit, get a bit of a different, feel for different cars here and how the public reacts to it. I think that's what it's all about for these first few months, is just experimenting a bit, see what cars work, what cars don't, and then we get a gist going forward of where we need to be. But we're just going to show you at pitch, show you a bit what we're doing, and yeah, show you cars that we've sold. So hang fire. So the pitch is looking derelict again. Not got many cars at all. This is the car that we've just sold. We knew this one weren't going to be here long. Nissan Duke 1.5 diesel on a 12 plate. It's got 110,000 miles. It's got the service history to go with it though. It's had its timing belt done as well, which is another big thing on these cars. And yeah, two customers just turned up, texted me this morning through our Facebook page, said they wanted to come look at it at 9:30. By 10 o'clock they'd purchased it and they will be collecting that on Saturday. So really chuffed. And these are what I call bread and butter cars. So there's not usually massive margins on these guys. And I think people think that, us dealers make thousands and thousands on cars, which I wish I did, because I probably won't be here every day, but that's not the case. But we know that these cars work. There's a bit of paint that we need to sort out on the back, just here, and then we are going to get a rear protective boot cover on that, just to stop it from happening in the future, because they are prone for family cars, so push chairs and things like that. But yeah, it's the 1.5 diesel, a centre premium, so you get the reverse parking camera, you get the sat nav on it, and I just think that represents really good value for money. Even the seats look nice, and that's what the customer said when they came. They was really surprised by what condition the car was in for the age and mileage. So we're absolutely chuffed with that. We've got a car here that we purchased last night. So if I'm honest, guys, I've been stung by a customer last night. So what's happened is we've ran out of stock, which I've already explained. And because we were so desperate, this came up on a Facebook site. Now, looked like a legitimate sale, but it's my fault. I told them to come down to my property and we'll sort the payment out when they arrive. And I sort of looked around the car, but scanned around it. Now, it seemed to start up fine. It is the 0.9 Twin Air, which I know they're a bit hit and miss, these cars. There's nothing mechanical with the car. Engine runs fine and all the rest of it, but I specifically said to the customer, is there any issues with this car? No, there's nothing. And when they've driven away, I've had another check on the car, and I must have had my eyes painted on, because there's an airbag light, and also the climate control doesn't work very well. In terms of the blowers aren't working. Now, I don't know if it's the heat resistor on these, because it's not the normal aircon buttons on these. It's at the actual climate control, so I'm not too sure. You can hear it is blowing, just not very powerful. So I'll start it up and I'll show you what I mean with this one. So we're just in the Fiat 500. Just want to show you what it's doing. It looks like every light's going off now. It's not, I promise. So up here, there's an airbag light, which is really, really frustrating. It's just saying it there, actually, airbag failure. So I have been stung, so I need to sort that out. I'm going to scan the car later and see what it is. And again, as for the clamp control, for some reason, so when you have it on this setting here to blow it out to yourself, there's just no power up here. You can feel a little tiny bit, but not a lot at all. So I have read it could be the power motor. I have checked the head gasket and stuff. There's nothing from that side. But other than that, let's think of the positives of today, because we've had a couple of negative days. So, got the two-tone red interior. Climate control when it's working, that'd be great. And an airbag, obviously. Sunroof. And yeah, I think that's a nice, tidy car. I can't see that being here long at all. And it's also got like a facelift grille on the front, I believe. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I am. But yeah, I believe there's a scuff somewhere. I'm just trying to see where it is. This bit here. So I'm going to sort that out, get that redone. I'm not quite sure how we're going to do it, but I'll get a paint guy to look at that for us. But yeah, we're going to get that valeted today, but so we've got to go to Mannheim to get some cars. So luckily the inside isn't too bad. Seats could do a bit of a wet vac, but other than that, we're all good. It's got 71,000 miles, which you see there, 2 keys and a service book and book pack, so that should be okay. It would help if I took the keys out. So this is another one that we've sold. This is another, obviously, Fiat 500. This was one that we had here for a while, so I needed to get rid of it. So basically, I cleared the decks of it, put it up for what it owed me, but I then took it for an MOT because it didn't have any MOT on it, and it failed on a rear exhaust, which I've had to pay for there. You see, that's brand new. We fitted that, and also these are prone for the rear bump stops where the coil springs sit. They break away, so I've had to sort that out. So that car, which is really frustrating, has me at a loss of about £400. So this is just showing you guys it's not all sunshine and roses all the time in the motor trade. We don't make thousands like people think. This is another one that sold. So that's going out on Saturday again. So Saturday is going to be a busy day for me. And that's another one that sold. Another Fit 500. We only had this in for a day. And it's no surprise. It's absolutely immaculate. It's been looked after throughout its life, that car. New wheel trims on. No damage on the paint. And again, Saturday. So Saturday. Blue one's Saturday. And guess when these want to pick it up? Saturday. So Saturday is going to be an handover day. Usually a business day, but hey, we'll make it work. Front is looking deader than dead. We really need these cars, which is why I'm desperate to get to Mannheim today. So literally on the front, all I've got is a Peugeot 107, a Nissan Note and a Ford Fiesta, which are available. Other than that, I don't really want to put these sorts of cars on the front, if I'm honest. Well, number one, they're not actually my cars. They're on a sale or return basis. And number two, I don't think they are the nicest of cars. But yeah, some really positives going on. Say, 17 sales in 20 days. You tell me a new business that's doing them sort of numbers. And I know it's causing a reaction because in the local area, there's businesses that are calling me asking how I am. And I know in reality, they want to find out a bit of information, which is good. Really good. But yeah, we'll get some clips on the way back, some cars that we're picking up. We'll get some valeting clips and all the rest of it, the usual jazz. And like I say, I apologise for no update for yesterday. But we did do a video on the new project for the channel, which is an Abarth 500. So if you go onto that video, you can have a watch of that. And yeah, if we could just spice the channel up a bit, guys. So we're gonna have, as I've said before, videos on the actual business, show you how we guys are doing and how we guys do a business, what customer complaints we get, all the rest of it. And then we are gonna have a project series, which we're gonna basically buy cars, do them up, flip them, try and make some money, and get better cars as we go along. That Abarth 500 is here actually. I'll just show you that pretty quickly. So I did a video yesterday, uploaded that, drove it to work yesterday morning. That's developed quite a serious problem, so that's going to make some fun content. So I was absolutely fuming when it first happened, but now I thought, actually make some decent content, so I'll just shut up. We've had a couple of warranty issues, so we'll just sit down and we'll have a chat about that. That's the fun bit of this trade. The selling bit's easy. It's all the aftermath. So sit down, I'll tell you what we've had to sort out. And yeah, then we'll get some clips on the way back from Mannheim in Leeds. So we would love to tell you that every car we have go out is no problems, no warranty issues, all the rest of it. But I'd be lying, and that's part of the motor trade. So we do prep the cars to the best of our ability. But the fact is that these are older cars, they're value for money cars. Things just do happen with them, you know, out of nowhere. So we have had a few bits. So I've wrote it on my board here. I've been crossing them off as I go along. So let's read what we've got. So we've got a Seat IB for which we've sold, and the locks don't work. Now we believe it's the actuator on the driver's side. We've ordered that. It's a dealer-only part, but they wanted £200 for it, which is just, we don't have the margin to be able to pay that bill, basically. So I've had to order one through AutoDoc, and it's only just been dispatched. So getting a bit itchy with the customer. He's not rang me yet, kicking off or anything, but he ordered it about 4 or 5 days ago, and we like to turn these cars around pretty quick. So that needs to be rapid. Then we've obviously got to build it back up. So there's that one ongoing. We've got a Kia Rio, which we sold, which there's another video on that car. It was one of the first nice cars that we had. Drove back from Mannheim, no problem. Went through MOT, absolutely fine. And there isn't really a big issue with it, but the car isn't reading that it's got fuel in it all of a sudden. So we spoke to a couple of mechanics. We believe it might be the fuel sender or the float which is attached to it. Don't kill the messenger. That's just what I'm being told. So I've ordered one of them, which is here in that big red box. That came yesterday. That was £130. Could have done without it. But yeah, customer's got to come down. We'll fit that. So that's another one. We've got a Nissan Qashqai, which was sold, which the wiper motors have burnt out. You just can't predict these things. Basically, when she's putting the wipers on, after about 5 minutes, they're slowing right down. And when you put your hand on the motor, it's red hot, so it's burning out. We know that. We had a Vauxhall Insignia, which is actually ongoing. Customer reckons there's a knock coming from the back of the car. We've had it up on the ramp, and we can't see anything at all. The bushes are all fine on the back arms and all that sort of stuff. The coil springs are okay. So we're not 100% sure what's going on with that, or the customer's just being a bit too particular on this occasion, because he explained that his previous car was written off. So there will be a bit of anxiety there. So he's actually going to take the car. So the customer himself is going to take the car to the garage on Saturday so he can show our mechanics what is going on. I think that's the best way to deal with that. And then what else? We've had a Ford Fiesta which has gone out. Again, great car, flew through its MOT, and then there was an advisory on the MOT for low brake fluid. Now I know through little bits of experience that brake fluid doesn't evaporate, and it will only come out of the brake fluid reservoir if the brake pads have gone down, which they obviously haven't because it's past its MOT, or there's a leak somewhere. So I said specifically to the garage, are there any leaks on it? Have you checked? Yes, there's no leaks. Anyway, the car came back. Well, I picked it up from the garage, and I noticed on the brown paper mats that we put in that it was all wet, and I thought it was water from where we'd wet back the car. Customers took it, and it's brake fluid, and it's coming from the brake fluid master cylinder or something like that. It sits underneath the brake pedal. So we needed to sort that one urgently. That was quite a big issue. Obviously, brakes, it's a massive safety concern. So I told the customer to bring that into us straight away and let us look at it. Brought it in, ordered a part from SDL Marnefern. Would you know it? The part doesn't fit. So we've been trying to work out why this part doesn't fit, and it turns out it's a dealer-only part for this specific Fiesta for whatever reason. So we've had to order a whole brake pedal kit with the master cylinder attached to it. So that went from a bill of £30 for the one that we ordered from SDL Marnefern to £150. So that car doesn't really make us a lot of margin. But the customer is in a safe car, Dan. That is the most important bit. Customer first, profit second. And if you do it that way around, you'll be fine. You will make money going forward. And we have made money. So there's not an issue from that side. But with warranty stuff, I always say it's not an issue with having warranty work, because things do happen. But from a customer's point of view, it's how does the dealer react to the warranty work? Now, when we get warranty stuff, we react to it straight away. From day one, we get the car either in or booked in, one or the other. No messing about. There's no going back and forth. Oh, that part's not covered, blah, blah, blah. We don't do any of that nonsense. You've got an issue, we'll sort it. And that is how we work. So the customers are still happy. There's no issues. But yeah, sales going great. Things are going fantastic. I'm a bit tired, but this is just part and parcel of the job. We're still looking at employing somebody. That's something that we are going to be doing 100% either pretty soon or latest in the next couple of months, because I cannot keep running about the way that I am. And especially with the run rate we're on this month, 17 in 20 days, I highly doubt that we're not going to sell another car between now and the end of the month. So just say if we sell another 3 or 4 cars, and that we're selling over 20 cars a month, which you can then justify employing somebody. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's a quick catch up for Thursday. And yeah, we'll get some videos, like I say, on the way back. Sorry for rambling on, just a bit of a chat. It's like a relief. So apologies that you're having to listen to me rumbling on about things. But yeah, we'll get some clips on the way back of the cars and we'll catch up soon.